morning and greetings to the lecturer, Sir Azwan bin Aziz, lecturer in the BMMS2096, Hvac Water Treatment Management. And dear friend, we are from Group 3 and this is a member of our group, Muhammad Arif Anwar bin Abdurrani, Haziq Fauzan bin Fauzi, and myself, Maureen binti Samuel. Well, I present it in the introduction. Legionella bacteria can colonize and multiply in the water system in the built environment, and they can be transferred by aerosol. This can cause respiratory disease like Legionella disease if inhaled by a vulnerable person or the generally milder Pontia fever. Then, Legionella bacteria can be found in small amount in neutral water source, such river, lakes, and reservoirs, with little danger of human infection. However, outbreaks of respiratory illness can arise when they colonize and multiply in water system in the built environment, are then transmitted by aerosol information and inhaled by a susceptible human. Legionary disease or the relatively milder Pontiac fever and Legionella fever can be caused by hot and cold water system, spa pool, and industrial sources that use processed water. And then, Legionella can colonize cooling tower in large number, posing a risk in infection. The relevance of a risk assessment and management plan is demonstrated in this study. Legionella combination is effectively reduced by chlorinating water. The importance of proper cooling tower operator training cannot be overstated. And about the methodology, methodology is a guideline used to help solve a problem. It consists of an in-depth description of the method that will be carried out to solve a problem in implementing a project. The selection of methodology is an important thing in the formation of a group study to ensure that the project can be carried out in an orderly and systematic method, because the appropriate methodology is important to choose indirectly involved in the use of time, cost, and resources. As we can see, this methodology is divided into three. Number one, observation. Number two, gather information. Number three, analyze the study. And the next slide is about based on survey. 88% respondents indicated that Legionella prevention was very important from management perspective. 54% from respondents acknowledged the potential risk of Legionella from cooling tower. 69% test of have the water tested to understand its bacterial level. 90% have a document cooling tower maintenance program in place. And 85% maintenance a daily log of critical system components such as pump pressure, flow rate, and visual infection. And lastly, 78% said they have a plan in place for the event they suspect contamination or Legionella concern in their cooling tower.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Haziq Fauzan bin Muhammad Fauzi. Okay, I will give an explanation about Legionella identification. Legionella caused by different temperature by cooling and hot water. And then Legionella will go to wastewater building. And next Legionella will be produced. And then Legionella will go to the water system. And the last one, it will affect a human. Okay, next. Identify risk and factor for contamination. There are several types of contamination, which is stagnant water, neutral go, poor water quality, reference in cooling water system, location of and public access to cooling water system. Okay, Legionella can cause bad effect for contamination. So by developing a risk management that takes all of these elements into account can be difficult. Selected to the 5 most serious risks linked with Legionella disease outbreak from cooling water system. Okay, next. Legionella contamination testing and monitoring. Okay, routine sample and testing for the presence of the bacteria, including Legionella bacteria, should be included in all Legionella monitoring and sampling program for cooling tower and cooling water system because Legionella bacteria require specialized laboratory produced to detect root aerobatic bacteria monitoring, which is often done with deep slide, can be utilized to determine whether microbial control in the cooling water system being archived. Okay, there are several types of contamination testing and monitoring, which is Legionella test, temperature control, additional control, and the last one, other control method. Okay, for cooling water monitoring microbiological activity, root sampling and testing for the presence of the bacteria, both in the general bacterial species and Legionella bacteria, should be performed on every cooling tower. Deep slide are used in check microorganism on weekly basis. Okay, showing on the table, there are several types, which is to control Legionella bacteria to affect the environment. Okay, next, cooling tower maintenance is to prevent a bacteria from growing and causing a major health problem. Cooling tower must ensure that the flowing water is clean. Additionally, personnel must clean, inspect, lubricate, and tune all of the cooling tower motors, fan, and pump on regular basis. Okay, this is a sample for cooling tower checklist maintenance and sample preventive maintenance report.
For 6.0, effectiveness of control measure. Legionella is a type of bacteria that can harm various things such as equipment and the human immune system. If not controlled, it can have a detrimental effect on the environment. If Legionella is under control, then there are no need worry to about the bad effect that will come. This control of Legionella can have a positive impact on the environment because there is no need to worry about adverse effect. Therefore, this is the effect of control of this bacteria can be done, such as human, Hvac system, and environment. For 6.1, human, the advantage of this Legionella virus prevention in human is that there are no need more death related case and adverse effect on human. This is because the annual record many people will experience several symptoms caused by this Legionella bacteria. The costs found are very high because it is easy to breathe in water storage tank and will go through the water channel and directly into the housing, hotel, industrial, and others. Therefore, which the prevention of this bacteria, the community no longer has to worry about the ugliness of this bacteria because they have been prevented by the responsible. For 6.2, the For 6.2, HVAC system. The disadvantage of this Legionella bacteria on the cooling system can also be said to have a negative impact on the system. This is because Legionella can cause the duct of the cooling unit such as a water system to become clogged and easily rusty. This cooling unit will be difficult to operate as it previously performed. These Legionella bacteria are easily to breed in this HVAC system, especially in cooling tower type of air conditioning. Because these bacteria are easily to breed in area of water mixed with hot and cold water. Studies have done Legionella breeding is easily to grow in cooling tower due to the significant water temperature housing in cooling tower. Therefore, ASHRAE and OSHA have appointed the building owner to be responsible for the maintenance of cooling tower. Therefore, the maintenance of the cooling tower has been set as preventive maintenance to prevent the spread of Legionella bacteria. Last but not least, 6.3, environment. Caring for the transmission of this Legionella bacteria to the environment can have a positive impact on many objects and communities. This is because the spread of this bacterium can grow rapidly and become a fear to the community. But if taken care of this infection will get stuck and difficult to grow. Among the benefit of preventing Legionella is this environment is that the community no longer has to worry about the spread of this bacteria in the water. Furthermore, the community no longer has to worry about property damage, agriculture, and livestock brought by this bacteria. Finally, the environment will be safe from damage and pollution brought on by Legionella bacteria. For the conclusion from the test given to us was to know the Legionella bacteria is more detailed. After doing this study, we have got a lot of information related to this bacterium, and all the information we found is a lot of disadvantage that can be brought by this bacterium Legionella. The adverse effect brought on can give impending pain to human, damage to something material, and at worst can be fatal. That is from us. Thank you.